Hello, and welcome to the weekly PPP or Progress Plans and Problems. I am Zanete from Zanete Knits, and here I talk about the whips and finished objects and anything else that's going on in Zanete Knits life of knitwear design, etc. So this is going to be very short because really I don't have much to too many things to say, other than I had hoped I will have a hello, love from Germany, love from UK. It's a very sunny day here. Interestingly, before I dive into the knitting, I thought that it's going to be a very relaxing day for me. It's the last official day before I return to work from my maternity leave. Hello to Chile. And tomorrow was supposed to be my official first day back. But my son came home early this morning from nursery with chickenpox, so yeah, there's a lot of fun with that, and I'm sure the baby brother is soon to follow. So I think my house is going to be a little bit of a hello to Saudi Arabia. Hello everybody, lots of highs. So yeah, my house is going to be a quarantine for little kids with chickenpox for the next few days. And that means I can't really go back to work, and that probably means a little bit more knitting, or maybe not, I don't know. I've never had two kids that are ill at the same time for a long time, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Back to the knitting, and yeah, so I thought I would have a finished object, but I don't have a finished object. I have an almost finished object, and that is the Unravel memory sock. Last week I think I had just started the gusset, and over the weekend I completed the full gusset and the heel flap, and I have now joined back in the round to work the leg, but I stopped because these are toe-up socks, so I want to take the opportunity to fully utilize all of the mini skein, all of the yarn that was in the mini skein set, because I can. So I can easily customize the length and make sure that I used up all the yarn, but I can only do that if I knit both socks at the same time. So before I continue this, I have cast on the other sock, and that one's gonna catch up first before we continue and figure out how long I can make these. So that's the plan with these socks. This is what the gusset looks like on the sole, and this is what the heel flap looks like. I'm using the slipped stitches on the wrong side to make a thicker, more reinforced fabric, so it doesn't wear out as much. But the whole sock is stranded, apart from some tiny bits where it's not, and it should make a really warm and sturdy sock. Another thing that's interesting or noteworthy of this sock is that the foot and the leg, the leg circumference is slightly bigger than the foot one. I have found through about 6 or 7 sock designs that has the best fit, and it's the nicest way to get your heel through the sock. So yeah, that's the sock. That's how far we are with the sock, and yeah. And I would have finished them probably already if it wasn't for the whip that I am wearing. And that is what's been keeping me addicted to knitting over the last few days since I cast on. It's really quite hard to put it down. And it is the fingering weight edition of the Pagan Sky sweater. The Pagan Sky sweater being a DK weight project. That was my first ever colorwork garment that I released a few years ago. So this is the fingering weight edition. It's using slightly modified chart, but because it's fingering weight and the yarn is thinner, the whole pattern repeat is a lot more intricate and detailed and smaller than the DK version, so it's quite a different look. And as I perhaps already mentioned, I'm writing the pattern as I go, and I am writing essentially 4 patterns in one, because it will be both a close and a wide neck, cardigan and pullover version. Top down, so you can customize the length of the sleeves and make it a short sleeve or make it a crop top if you wish. But yeah, so it's essentially 4 patterns in one. And what I have done for me is I picked the close neck because I like to, I don't know what it is about me. I like tidy, putting things away, so I don't really like things showing through. And I prefer the clean look, but I know I know like a half of knitters will say I can't stand a close neck, it's something touching here, so they will want the option to have a wider neck, and that will be there. So for the cardigan version, I started working it flat from the top down with a long tail cast on, and worked increases to the chart with some short rows at the back. You can see the back is quite a bit higher than the front, and then joined in the round and added the stick stitches here, and now I'm on row 30 something out of 80 total colorwork rows. I will be splitting for sleeves around row 60 something, and then the rest of the colorwork will continue into the body and sleeves. And yeah, there's loads and loads of color work. It's really nice. Let me take it off. It's probably the smallest gauge for a garment wrong side, I've ever worked. So it's rather slow progress. I mean, I'm knitting as fast as I can, but because each row is so tiny, it adds a little bit to the sweater. But no 2 rows are the same, so I'm enjoying very much that with every row I'm seeing a little bit more and more of the pattern. And these yarns are really great to work with, especially now when it's hotter, because it's light and thin, and it's not this woolly thing that makes you hot. It's really refreshing and crisp. So yeah, that is the yoke of the Pagan Sky sweater. Plans. I plan to just probably not stick to my plans. In reality, I will be working on this as much as I can. It's very portable still. I can grab it anywhere, just like the sock. And it's not as fiddly as the sock because there's less needles, so I'll probably finish the color work on the cardigan before I return to the sock. But timelines for what's going to happen to those projects and how they turn into patterns is that the sock test call is planned to be announced early June, like the first week of June, I think. And then it will be released a few weeks after that, or a month and a half or 2 months. I don't remember, but yeah, not too long. Whereas the test call for this sweater or cardigan is gonna be towards the end of June, and I believe because it's fingering weight and it's in 8 sizes, and I think for the larger size, the yoke has over 700 stitches. I presume I need to really give it a good chunk of time for test knitting, which means that the pattern will come out in early fall, early September, if all goes to plan. So yeah, those were the things. Those were my plans and my progress. And here we again. Oh, by the way, the thing that I'm wearing, if you're interested, because it's summer, it is the radiating top, because it's like sunshine from above, rays falling on the front. And it's something that I designed 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, and it's still a pretty cool thing. I used West Green Loft yarns, linen merino singles. Seem to love that yarn because the sweater behind me that you can see, the Song of the Moon sweater, was knit up in a similar base, and it's really nice for summer. Yeah, anyways, I think that's it. Those are the news, and thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week.